it was last week, a beta dropped for Baldur's Gate 3. It's essentially early access. They don't call it a beta, but that's really what it is. It's a beta, and you buy it, and whenever it's finished, it's finished. I think it's like 25 hours of gameplay if you add it up. I don't know. I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to wait for the game to be finished, and then if it gets really good reviews from people that I like, I will probably get it. It's been a long time since I played one of these games. I played the second one a long time ago. Feels like it's been forever, but it's there. If you want to drop $60 to play it early. If you do, cool. I know there's a lot of people that probably are excited to play this, and I'm pretty sure that they banked on the fact that there's a lot of people that are going to be excited to play this, and that if they dropped it early, people would pay the $60 to get it right now, which will help fund the game or whatever. Look, I'm not mad that they're doing this. If people want to pay it, obviously people are going to pay it. That's just the way the market works. There's a lot of articles on it. Some mixed reactions. There was one saying how happy they were that it's out, and then there's one like this that said, I played 15 hours of Baldur's Gate 3 early access and I want them back. Answering the question nobody asked, what if Michael Bay made a D&D 5e game? Okay, I think that this is a fair article. All right, this is a normal reaction to a beta. Okay, and I want to stress that's what this is. It's a beta, essentially, early access. It means the game isn't quite done. It's not really ready to go. It's early access. You're only getting a piece of the game, just a small snippet, a small taste of what's to come. However, you have games journalists, I say that in quotation, who really aren't games journalists. They're activists. Who make $55,000 a year to write nonsense like this. Baldur's Gate 3 players called out for their basic-ass character creations. Of course, it's from Kotaku. Who else would it be from? Maybe Polygon. Actually, the funny thing is Polygon wrote a good article about it saying how happy they were that it existed. And then you go to Kotaku, and Kotaku says, well, where's the diversity in the character creations? Where's it at? Totally seeming to forget what a beta is, what an early access game is. How do you not know this? Oh, that's right, because they're not gamers. $55,000 a year to start at Kotaku. How the hell do they afford people? They have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars. Probably like their salary alone, because you got to imagine there's people that make more. And I think I did a video on this a while ago of the games journalists because they were leaking how much they make, which no, it wasn't game journalists. Actually, it was all of the journalists in digital media, and they were all leaking out. They thought it'd be a good idea to tell people how much they made, and it just backfired because there's people making hundreds of thousands of dollars to write trash like this. But I was thinking, I don't know what the staff is at Kotaku, but they have to have at least $1 million in salary alone. Because you imagine you got 4 writers, right? 4 writers, you're paying over $200,000 at this point. So to say that Kotaku probably has $1 million in salary, maybe even more, is probably not an exaggeration. Who the hell is giving Kotaku money? Okay, because you know they're not making this in digital route. You got digital outlets closing left and right. I just talked about GameStop, or not GameStop, GameSpot. I think that's the site closing down their Australian branch and laying off workers. Yet Kotaku's hiring. Who the hell is giving them money? Someone is like keeping this company rolling. It's going to be a great day when whoever's giving them money says, "Yeah, we're not paying for your shit anymore." And they fold because Kotaku is complete garbage. And this is a really good example of it. They're calling out basic character creation in a beta early access game. I want to stress that. This game isn't complete. It has limited options for what you can do. But I guess here's the deal. So basically, I guess, because the article is kind of vague, the company that created Baldur's Gate said, why are you all making basic humans like this, right? We gave you horns and all kinds of stuff. But I guess the heads and the hair that you can make for human features is pretty limited right now, which I imagine is probably going to change. But they were stressing, like, why aren't you making demon characters or, like, stuff like that, like interesting, unique characters. So the Kotaku writer here gets triggered and is mad that people aren't making characters with blemishes or ones that are overweight or short and stuff like this. I don't even think you can put that kind of detail on the character yet. I would imagine there'll be more detail like that later in the game's development, but for right now, I think that that's kind of an unfair thing to ask. So this writer is basically pissed that you can't be more creative with a human character in a beta early access game. So really, this is a great example of complaining to complain, because that's what is happening here, and it's funny because you don't even know if these options are going to get fixed, but we need it now. You got to remember, okay? All of this representation stuff is more important than the actual game. So at least, and the non-gamer's opinion. I don't know how people actually feel about this game. If you like it, let me know in the comments. If you're a fan of the series and you like it, I'll probably check it out when it comes out. But anyway, listen to these hot takes. Congratulations, you've made the default Vault Dweller. What the hell, guys? We gave you demon eyes, horns, and even tails. We are sorely disappointed. Go crazy. We worked hard on this. Well, my first reaction was, good Lord, y'all born. After I marinated on it a little bit, I realized there's a powerful message here. Even when presented with a wealth of options and opportunities, people will still default to making what's comfortable and familiar themselves. Shouldn't that mean then when game makers implement these character creation engines, they should add options that reflect all of what humanity has to offer rather than just a narrow band of it? So there's two things here, right? One, she's saying that there should be more character creation options, and that you should be forced to play as something that makes the writer of this article happy. Okay, yes, most people, when they play a video game, create themselves. Now, I'm always a fan of people that make the crazy character. I always kind of make a character that looks somewhat close to me if I can. So, yeah, I guess I'm kind of boring there. But I do appreciate the people that make really crazy, goofy characters. I think those are usually pretty funny. But, yeah. So there's two things in that really horrible, horrible paragraph. It's not getting its point across very well. But like I said, basically, you should play what I want you to play as, which is what they would all like if they could. This goes beyond even my constant gripe about hair and skin. It means body types, facial hair, head coverings, skin conditions. Games in modern settings need accessory options to include hearing and mobility aids. Basically saying that you should have a wheelchair in Baldur's Gate. Hell, I'm sure the creative minds at Larian Studios could find a way to D&D-iffy a hearing aid. It also means making sure that a game's world is diverse as the characters being made for it. We need to see all kinds of people, short, tall, fat, brown, hard of hearing, blind, in order to create the rich worlds boasted about on the back of game boxes. Yes, games hardly come in boxes anymore, but work with me here. You get the point. We don't really need to go any further. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this game take place in medieval times? I don't think hearing aids existed at that time. I also don't think that they had the ability to create wheelchairs in that time. Maybe if you were a super rich king or queen or something, they made them work, but that wasn't the standard for most people back then. I mean, the kind of stuff that these people gripe about in gaming is so crazy. Why would somebody, okay, and this is the most, I'll use their terminology, the most ableist stuff I've ever heard. Do you think that someone that's in a wheelchair wants to be a wheelchair character in the game? It's a fantasy. Okay? They want to get out of reality. And it might not be the case. Maybe there is somebody that wants that option, but in a medieval game, couldn't you just cast a spell on yourself so you could walk again? I guess there you go. There's a D&D iffy hearing aid. I just don't get it. It's just a stupid hot take. And either way, this is an early access beta. Do you want them to work on the game, or do you want them to put hearing aids in the game? It's beta. What are you talking about? Don't forget, they make $55,000 a year to write this. I want to stress that. What a ridiculous article from a ridiculous company. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your comments below. What do you guys think about all this? Also, if you would, please share the video. Make sure you still subscribe. Subscribe if you new, hit that notification bell. And I'll see all of you on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out.